open up the next school, I'm not going to be that transparent. Y'all see it when it opens, no matter how long it takes. But I felt the need to be transparent because I didn't want to lose my loyal supporters. Because remember, most of our FDMG donors, they are repeat donors. Very few people have only donated one time. These people who are questioning me, they've never donated at all, ain't got children going to the school, don't live nowhere near Wilmington, Delaware. You understand me? So they're just doing this for kicks and giggles. Right. The YouTubian struggle streamers. They will slander my project. These YouTubian struggle streamers, that's what they are. YouTubian struggle streamers. They will slander my project to get an extra 100 views. Yeah. Literally, you go to their page. You did all that for 100 views, you thirsty struggle streamer. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, don't even feed them. Stay focused on the work.
I was going to ask you, what were your thoughts on Diddy and everything that's going on with Diddy? We know what he did was horrific.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts on everything that's happening with Diddy?
Yes, sir.
That's all you said. If Kathy was dark skinned, it wouldn't even be
I believe that. Absolutely horrific, indefensible. But the response from the black community in the Charlemagne, I believe, is somewhat hypocritical. And the reason I say that is 40% of domestic abuse victims are black women. Black women are being beat on by on a regular basis. The femicide rate for black women is going through the roof. A black woman is 3 times as likely as any other woman to be murdered by her lover. Black or white. Y'all saw what happened with the sister in Milwaukee. 19-year-old black sister, what, about a month or 2 ago, went on a date with a 33-year-old Caucasian man. He killed her, dismembered her, spread her body all over the city. This is recent. And then you had a little 17-year-old sister down in Cape Coral, Florida. She walking back from the movies with her 2 friends, and a white boy just pulled over, gets out the car, and murders her in broad daylight. And I ain't got to show you all the murders of black men, what we're doing to our own women. I just saw one the other day where the brother killed his children, killed the woman, killed himself. Those are not typically black crimes. We don't normally do that kind of stuff. We don't crash out like that, but we are now, because the spiritual foundation of African people and the emotional wellness of African people is beginning to erode, because we have bought into the ideology of material consumption that American capitalism has pushed on us. And we believe being happy and being whole and being psychologically healthy means owning and earning. So we equate health, psychological health, which how much do I make and how much do I earn and how much do I own? And that is not the foundation upon which African spirituality rests. We are a people where relationships are the most important thing to African people. Relationships, not what you earn, what you drive, and what you wear. But we bought into that, and as a result of that, we are suffering from a spiritual famine. We are a spiritually infamished people, and we're not recognizing it. And this is why rich blacks, as well as poor blacks, are equally likely to commit suicide or crash out on somebody else and take their life. So my thing is, when are we going to get back to valuing relationships and people more than the things that we own? That is a very big problem with us.
So back to Diddy. What's your thought?
Back to Diddy. It's hypocritical, Envy, because when I look at the amount of black women who are abused in the community, and I look at the amount of black people who turn the other cheek to this. Being a therapist, I see these things. Black women being abused in the church, they're being abused in the temple, they're being abused in the masjid, they're being abused in the college. Teenage girls are being abused in their homes by their boyfriends. So I see all these black people snapping out on Diddy, as they should. He was wrong. But you didn't snap out on your son when he smacked his girlfriend up in front of your face. You didn't snap out on your brother when he choked out his fiance. You didn't even snap out on your husband when he snapped out on you. So Diddy can be exposed and humiliated and shamed and embarrassed, but not the men in your life. When your son beats on his wife, when your uncle, when your cousin, when your frat brother, when your pastor is guilty of doing the same thing Diddy did, it gets a pass. But when Diddy does it, he has to be exposed. I don't like the double standard that we have. I don't like this hypocritical outrage at Diddy, but we don't see the same thing in the black community. For example, how many domestic abuse shelters have we opened since the Cassie Diddy film came out? If with that outrage, all these single black women being abused with children, right? How many celebrities or regular black people have opened up domestic abuse shelters? How much money has Black America donated to the fight against domestic abuse in our community? Go to the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church admit to at least 10,000 incidents of sex abuse against children involving over 4,300 pastors or priests since 1950. From 1950 to 2022, between 10 and 11,000 incidents of child sex abuse, 4,300 priests. Can I ask you a question? If what Diddy did is so bad, why do we still have 3 million African-American Roman Catholics? If we are against abuse, help me understand how this is wrong, but molesting our kids are not.
I tend to see people care more about issues when celebrities are attached, and it makes me feel like they don't even care about the issue. They just care about slandering the celebrity.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And to your point that you raised earlier, if that was Lizzo and not Cassie, are we having this conversation? If that was Lizzo, if that was a full-figured chocolate African queen, does it even make the media? And then the other thing, fellas,
if it's Lizzo, yes, because she's a celebrity.
Got you, but if it's just a regular full-figured chocolate sister, right? And I do believe Cassie's complexion plays a role in this because we do have a light-skin supremacy issue in the black community. We also got dark supremacy issues as well. But if she's not a mixed-race light-skinned sister and not a celebrity, this ain't no issue. This ain't no issue. You know, because even in religion, I've seen pastors and imams condone violence against women. You know what I mean? You know, so I think the black community got to stop being hypocritical. If we're really against domestic violence, let's do something against it. Because I rarely hear celebrities, I rarely hear civil rights leaders, I rarely hear business leaders talk up and out against the domestic abuse of black women. And when black women get domestically abused, it's twice as bad. You know why? Because one, they're being psychologically harmed, right? And then number two, they can't go to the police because they're going to be treated like an animal. This is what y'all people do. They can't go to the domestic abuse shelters because white people are going to look at them like they less than trash. So the black woman suffers in silence. And on top of that, what? In most states, domestic abuse is a felony. I can't afford to send my children's father to jail. And then when they say, why daddy ain't here? Because I turned them in. So it's very complicated when you're dealing with black women and domestic abuse. And then add to that, Envy and Charlemagne, the fact that most black women don't have a strong social network. They don't have sisters that they can rely on because those sisters are so insecure about their relationship with their man that you can't come take the spare room in my house. You can't come take the basement. You can't come take the Airbnb because my husband might start developing eyes for you. So you got to stay in that house and keep getting your head beaten by that man, even though I'm claiming to be a born-again Christian, even though I'm claiming to be the most devout Muslim of all time, even though I'm claiming to be the top Hebrew in my community, I'm going to let your husband keep banging your head in because I'm not going to risk my husband sniffing for your cookies.
Damn. What are your thoughts? I got so much stuff on